Good morning. Welcome to Old Vine Zen. I am Jan, and it's early like Sunday morning, and I hope you're doing well. We're still continuing on in this really awful heat wave. It just never ends, day after day. And frankly, my mind is like mush. It's like I am totally melted. But even so, I was thinking the other day about how I have always been a late bloomer. I wonder if you have. Were you somebody that people considered a late bloomer? I was late. I was later in life when I got married. I was later in life when I finally started my career. I was later in life when I got divorced. So, yeah, I've always considered myself a late bloomer, and it wasn't really something that was necessarily a good thing. Just kind of like you were out of step with everyone else. And then, I started thinking about how Buddha and Buddhism, they would think about that. And I realized that being a late bloomer, there is no such thing because all through our life, we are blooming. We are hopefully continuing to learn, to expand, to understand. So we are blooming, hopefully, through our entire life. No, physically, of course not. Physically we start to, I don't know, shrivel. But mentally and emotionally, we continue to become flowering, bigger and more understanding and compassionate. And so the Buddha would say there's no such thing as a late bloomer. You want to continue to bloom. You're never late. It's just a constant change and growing. And so now, it's funny how we put connotations to words, like certain words mean a bad thing, depending on what era you grew up in or who you were around. A late bloomer wasn't necessarily good. Or being a dreamer. You had visions of somebody that just sat around and dreamt all the time but never did anything. And that's not true. A dreamer is what, creates things. So there are these connotations like work. Ooh, work. I don't want to work anymore. But work, depending on what it is and what you have a passion for, is great. Work is great. It's fruitful. It brings you great things. So if you are or consider yourself a late bloomer, or you have in the past, don't worry about it because you're blooming. You're always blooming. And even in this heat wave, I don't feel like I'm blooming. I feel like I'm, drying up and shriveling up. But keep the mind engaged so that you keep blooming from the inside, even as we get old. And in Buddhism, there's a lot of wisdom with older people. And I love being around older people because they have a lot to share if we just listen to all the things that they've learned. So, don't shy away from getting older. Just keep blooming. Just keep learning and expanding. So let's take a few minutes and close our eyes and just kind of go inward and recognize that flower within you. So relax, roll your shoulders back, close your eyes or gaze downward, whatever feels good. Soften your belly. Let your legs get nice and heavy and supported. Position your feet in such a way that feels comfortable. Kind of stretch your toes out a little bit. Take a deep breath. Let's put yesterday aside. I mean, really, put it aside. Put aside the frustrations and the disappointments and all the things that you expected and they didn't happen. Just let it go. Because we're going to take the next few minutes to bloom. So go deep within yourself. I mean, even go to your heart. I mean, where you feel your heartbeat in your body, or where you imagine your heart is. Just breathe in a sense of drifting down deeper within yourself and let go of the outer world, all the distractions. Even if there's some sounds around you, don't let it bother you. If there's some thoughts that creep in, not to worry. Acknowledge it and just come back to your breath, come back to your heart, which we can imagine as maybe the bud of a flower, okay? It's just beginning to open and a willingness to be here in this present moment of your life. As you rest within your heart, as you breathe in and breathe out. Softening the face, allowing the jaw to unclench if it's clenched. Allowing the forehead to smooth away of lines of worry. And maybe imagine somebody just with their fingertips massaging your scalp. How nice that feels. Relaxing all the muscles in the head, the scalp, all the way down the back of the neck. Breathing in a sense of stillness. Letting go of all of our old stuff. Allowing our heart to open and perhaps letting something new come in, a new opinion, a new idea, a new perspective. Let us not be afraid to let go of something that maybe is outdated. Maybe we're willing to look at a different angle at something, just to investigate, just to make sure that it's something we still do believe in. We don't have to carry everything that's come along with us to this point, you know. We must make room for change and for growth. Breathing in a sense of peace and wellness. Noticing if there's any tightness in the body that you want to focus on and let go of. Let your breath soften those areas in your body. Life is such an experiment. And some things work out and some things don't. And it doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you've made a mistake. You're experimenting. Some things we'll get it right, sometimes we won't. But at least we keep exploring, right? We take a risk. We have to stop letting people and circumstances hold us back. We have to stop letting fear control us. It might work out, it might not. But at least in the end, you can say, I gave it a shot. Because it wasn't working the way it was going. You might get it right, you might not. But at least you tried. And so we will continue to bloom throughout our entire life, however long that is. We'll keep our curiosity. We'll keep exploring. We will be the adventurer of our life. And it's never too late. It's never too late to get going on it. Growth happens at all stages of our life. Whether you're 10 or you're 90. Being a late bloomer is not a disadvantage at all. As a matter of fact, it's an advantage. So if you wear that title, wear it proudly. As we take, let's say, 5 more soft, easy breaths together, let us settle in with that knowledge in our heart so we can take it with us and carry it with us throughout our day, the days to come, the stages of our life. Keep your eyes open. Be aware. Things come in the most mysterious way. And you must be careful because they might slip by and you won't even notice them. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind open. Keep your perspective open. And now, as we begin to close our meditation for today, and we come back to where we began, wherever you are in this big world, your little spot on this planet, let's greet the day with a sense of adventure. Feeling our fingertips, our toes. You can add a little movement there just to feel your body reconnect to wherever you are. We will close our meditation. You can reopen your eyes if you'd like, or you can remain with your eyes closed. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for listening. And I feel the sweat rolling off my face. And it's going to be another hot day. So, anyway, thank you. And take care of yourselves. And, smile a little. Try to move lightly through your day or your evening, whatever it is. And I know it's hard because there's a lot of difficult circumstances out there. So I know it's not that easy. So I don't mean to make light of it. But we just have to keep going, right? One step after another. So we'll do that. So I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.